anniversary of the assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., 6 souls were lost in our city. We grieve for the families. We grieve. We grieve for the mothers. We grieve for a city that is seeking to find its way back to a place of peace and nonviolence.
You hear that, Gliders? You hear the person in the background saying these gliders ain't never out here, man. You know, the brother's holding it together. He's being professional, but it's a son person in the background. Sound like a sister yelling, man, these goofy white people out here, man, they ain't never out here any other time. Actually, these gliders are the linchpin. They're the fulcrum of your movement. Yeah, sisters are the drum majors and the energy and the fuel of the movement, but the engine is glacier gliders. Without these pasty liberals, condoning you guys like debauchery and degeneracy and destruction of this country, bit by bit, your little movements couldn't take flight. These gliders are intricately woven into every Sun person, BLM, NAACP, any movement you have. But you hear that, gliders? The ungratefulness, man. They ungrateful, man, to you pasty liberals, man.
We grieve for the families. We grieve. We grieve for the mothers. We grieve for a city that is seeking to find its way back to a place of peace and nonviolence. We are imploring.
Y'all want to come out here and record and shit in the park? Y'all ain't never doing nothing for the park though. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I hate that shit.
We are imploring.
They ain't never up here, but look, they all up here because of the ass shooting. So now all people do something about it.
Well, listen, I can understand this evil. It might be an ombrita. Whatever it is. Maybe it's a sunbrita. I don't know. Whoever that is yelling. I can understand where she's coming from to a degree. Like, yeah, like a bunch of people show up and stand in front of cameras, and you never see them in these communities. But when she said do something about it, nothing can be done. There's nothing that can be done about this, man. Ain't nothing to be done about this. Sun violence, there's nothing that can be done about sun violence. The only thing you can do is move away from it. Or empower your police department to work overtime. I'm talking about vice squads, gang units, task force, upped patrols, stop and frisk. And that would only bring it back to a level where it's livable. It won't stop it. There's nothing you can do about sun violence. Ask the people at the Oscars. Nothing you can do about sun violence.
Do something about it. Ain't doing shit.
We are imploring the city, the country and those involved to come forth if you have information about the violence that took place and assist our community with helping bringing peace and compassion and a sense of healing and restoration back to our city. We're at a time when we have witnessed in our nation the eruption of anger in public spaces to such a degree that war seems to be the only resort for resolving our differences. And we're at a time in our nation's history where we want to begin to change the way that we interact with one another in managing our own emotional, mental, and social hygiene. Violence cannot drive out violence. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And open up the healing that's needed for the world now. We invite everyone to take one action of finding a way to be the light that is needed in these dark times. So that we will deem war and trauma and terrorism and all of the ways that we harm and hold each other small, we will deem these things obsolete in our lifetime. For those in this city who are of African descent, who are suffering from another trigger, we have created an organization that brings together faith communities along with individuals in the mental health community called Safe Black Space to support people with the support, the assistance that they need to move through this trauma that they're facing. Dr. Chrissy Hagens is here, and she can say a word about what people can expect if they need the mental health support.
Thank you. So my name
K Street is the center of the entertainment district here in Sacramento. It's an area packed with restaurants and bars leading up to the Golden One Center, many of them on edge following the senseless act of violence. I spoke to an employee at Koja Kitchen, a Korean-Japanese restaurant just down the street from where the shooting took place. She was still at the restaurant around 2 this morning when she heard several gunshots. She described the commotion that followed. Take a listen.
We just see a bunch of people flood this way, and people were saying there's like a shooting, people were coming into our job, they were holding the door, making sure that like nobody related to the shooting was like coming this way and stuff, and everybody was just like kind of in chaos for a good 20 minutes trying to figure out what was going on. And as soon as things happen, you kind of just see officers like flee to the scene. Really sad, like it's super sad that we have to see like the community kind of go through this, and summer is supposed to be fun and like have a good time and go home at the end of the night. It's just really sad to know that some people didn't make it home.
Okay. So, all right.
We have a few thoughts from Pamela Harris as she was waiting hours of agonizing wait to learn what had happened to her son.
When my brother came and picked me up, my daughter called and they said there was a shooting and they get down here. That's it.
Can you tell us about your husband?
He loved his kids. He was a happy person. That's for sure. He just loved living life and trying to make a difference, making a mark on himself, being better.
What was he doing down here last night?
At the club like everybody else. Having fun.
I don't know, man. She looked like she don't know what her husband was doing down there, man. I ain't even trying to be funny and make light of it, but the way the mom jumped in there, it looked like, and that's every man's worst nightmare. You out doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, wife find out about it this way, you done got clapped. The husband then came home, clapped you or something happened, you know what I mean? In this incident, he just got caught in a mass shooting. And she looked like she don't know, she looked like she had no idea he was down there.
He loved his kids. He was a happy person. That's for sure. He just loved living life and trying to make a difference, making a mark on himself, you know, being better.
What was he doing down here last night?
At the club like everybody else. Having fun.
Was he with friends?
I don't know who he was with.
You know which club he was at?
London. He holds a gold card there, so he goes there a lot.
How many kids do you folks have?
He has 3 kids.
London. Club London. He has a gold card there.
Also, this morning, I want to head back to the mass shooting that we're covering that happened early yesterday morning in downtown Sacramento. ABC 10's Marcus Allen is live downtown with one man who's seen a lot of violence outside of his business. So, Mark, what's his perspective on this?
Yeah, it's really important to know that if something takes place in Old Sac, that affects businesses in Sacramento and also affects Midtown. Well, you're in Old Sacramento, Danny of Danny's Donuts. I've talked to you many times before, usually on very positive occasions, but now this. You're no stranger to gun violence and gun violence affecting your business. What was your reaction when you heard the news yesterday?
I was terrified that something like that would happen in our city and so close to us, and so many people would be negatively impacted. I was really terrified by it. But I'm optimistic because Sacramento is a great city. We got great people here, and we'll recover from it.
Well, having been through this before with the shooting in Old Sacramento, how did that affect your business?
Yeah, we've had some incidents here that was a little closer. I think we had one right down the street there.
Sure.
It does have a sort of a dampening effect on the businesses. People are afraid to come and think that they might be victimized as well. But eventually they get over it. It comes back. Sacramento is a very residual place. The citizens here are real great, and we're not going to let it keep us down forever. However, I must say I'm really saddened by the tragic loss and the negative impact on families that lost loved ones and was injured in it.
Sure.
It's really senseless for something like this to happen.
Of course.
And here are the 6 victims. John Taya Alexander, Melinda Davis, 57, Sergio Harris, 38. We just showed you the wife, right? The wife earlier, Sergio Harris. Joshua Hoy Lucchese, 32. Yamil Martinez Andrade, 21. And Devazia Turner, 29. So there's a mixed bag. It's a couple hombritos in. And an update on the mass shooting that we covered a few weeks ago in Arkansas, Dumas, Arkansas. There was a mass shooting, if you remember, we covered, where 28 people were shot. They made an arrest in that case. And shockingly, this is the brother they arrested.